Hey, it's Clay. How's everybody doing today? I've got some more Battlefield 3 coming at you, and this time I'm featuring the new weapon in the Close Quarters expansion pack, assault rifle, the Scar L. Now this gun, when I first unlocked it, I was pretty hesitant. I mean, I would say as a general rule, low fire rate weapons in Battlefield 3 tend to struggle. I mean, having a low fire rate means they automatically have lower recoil, but, you know, if you're a higher skilled player, you can generally control recoil pretty successfully, and you know, things like the M16 and the AK, I mean, they get so many more bullets down range more quickly that the time to kill is so much better. So even if you're, you know, firing a little bit less accurately, you're getting so many bullets down range that it doesn't really matter. So, but I have to say, I really put some time in. I got all the unlocks with the Scar L, and it's really grown on me, and I finally got to a point where on this match where I was really feeling comfortable with it. And this first attack objective on Metro here was one of the most exciting games of Rush, and maybe of FPS I've played in a while. I mean, this was a real thriller. It came down to the end, so make sure you're paying attention to the ticket count. It was insane. It was a really fun game, but I really turned the beast mode on, and man, I was just having a lot of fun. And, you know, the thing about this gun is, I find that with some other guns, you know, like the AK-74 and like the L85, some of those other slower fire rate assault rifles, you still kind of have to burst fire. But, you know, looking right here, I'm pretty much going almost full auto. I mean, barely tapping the burst. But those bursts come so quickly that it almost doesn't matter. And also, one thing about it with this, because it's got a slower fire rate, it tends to really chug through suppression really successfully. You know, when you're suppressed and you have higher recoil, the bullet deviation tends to really flare up. So one of the really nice things about having this lower rate of fire is that when you actually are suppressed, it's really great. And you know, like that kill right there, that's not something that you would have suspected to get with an M16 or an AK. So it's really a sweet rifle. I really dig it. And also because it's got a slower rate of fire and you can be more accurate, I find that I have a lot more success actually getting headshots and actually going for headshots. You know, instead of shooting for the body and trying to get the kill, you can actually shoot straight for the dome. So that's gonna, you know, reduce your time to kill even more. So really high on this gun. You know, you definitely have to. I almost tell myself in my mind that I'm playing with the M417 or the SKS, because it really functions really well in that kind of battle rifle mid-range mode. And I really find that it's important to pair it with a good pistol, you know, like the G18 or the 93R, something that can really excel at close range. But you know, with that, all that said, it's a really sweet gun, and I really dig it. So, and one of the things that I got to thinking about, you know, we're contrasting this gun with some of the others, is skill ceilings. So, and what I mean by that is, in a game, what is the spread between the brand new player who's never picked it up before and the best player in the world? What is the spread there? How much time and effort does it take to get to that level of mastery? And, you know, so games that I think of, when I think of games that have really high skill ceilings, I think about Counter-Strike Source, I think about all those games on the Unreal Engine, you know, Unreal Tournament. You know, even branching out into other games, something like StarCraft 2. You know, some of these games that have really high-end pro scenes that are really sweet. Team Fortress 2 is a good example. You know, and I was thinking about Battlefield 3 and how that kind of fits into the mix. And, you know, Battlefield 3 is a little bit unique because it's such a team game that I would say that the skill ceiling in Battlefield 3 is directly connected to the team conversation that I talked about in another Battlefield video.
There's your first aid kit. Pick it up.
You know, playing as a team really is what separates the men from the boys in this game. And you know, individual glory isn't so much what it's all about, but it's more about playing as a team. And I think that in that regard, Battlefield 3 has a really high team connection skill ceiling, if that makes any sense. Because really in Battlefield 3, it's all about working together. And, you know, one guy alone can't really carry it. You know, one individual player cannot carry a team on to victory, especially if you're playing against a decent team. But a bunch of guys working together, especially on the vehicle maps, you know, if you've got a really good jet pilot paired with, you know, 2 really good helicopter pilots, paired with a good tanker, paired with some really good infantry. I mean, that as a whole package makes a really intimidating team to play against. So I definitely think that Battlefield 3 has a really high skill ceiling, and I think that skill ceilings are really important for shooters. I think having a high skill ceiling is essential. Man, that triple kill right there I was so pumped. Getting those 3 guys at medium to long range, really efficiently. I just love this gun. But I do think that having a high skill ceiling is essential in order for a video game to really thrive, because, you know, you can do things to make it noob friendly. Yeah, I've been playing some Blacklight Retribution lately, and they have specific servers that limit your rank. So like levels 1 through 10 have specific servers that only they can join. So if you're a new player, hop into one of those servers and play against other noobs. But when you're actually, you know, ready to rock and you're playing against good players, I find personally I have a lot more fun playing a competitive game where I go 40 and 20 than I do, you know, when we spawn camp a team and you go 50 and 5. That's just me. I have more fun when I'm playing competitively, and so in that regard, having a high skill ceiling and playing against other players that also are good is what really makes a game fun. You know, because I think one of the reasons why Call of Duty leaves such a bitter taste in people's mouths, why it has become, you know, hating on Call of Duty has become very niche and very cliche and very hip. I think it's because it has a really low skill ceiling. It doesn't reward good players for playing good, and it benefits bad players for being bad. I mean, you get all these death streaks, and I don't know, just the whole nature of the game. You know, the way that, you know, air support can get shot down so quickly now, and I mean, all those little factors play together to make a game that has a low skill ceiling. And I think that, you know, when you start playing a game, there should be a sense of, wow, I really suck at this. I can't believe that those guys are so good. How am I ever going to get on their level? You know, and then you really have to grind. You got to put in the time. You got to get your butt kicked for many hours before you actually get to a point where you're actually decent. I think that is awesome, and I think that really enriches a game. And oh man, so I think it's really important, and I think that, you know, going through that process of, man, I'm horrible, there's no way I'm ever going to be this as good as some of those other guys, I think that when you finally get there, it makes it that much more rewarding. But that's just my thoughts on skill ceilings. I would love to hear what you guys think about Battlefield 3's skill ceiling, and whether or not you think they're important. If you think, if you disagree with me, you think that, you know, making games that are accessible is really important. But you know, I want to focus in on the end of this match because I got a plant there. We're down to 10 tickets, and that last plant I got, I actually, like, I died from C4 right as I was about to finish, but I'm pretty sure that the plant actually went off. So I'm trying to give these 2 guys cover. One guy goes down, and the second guy actually goes for the revive, and then goes for the plant, which I thought was a very interesting move, and it really turned out. So we've got this flag beeping. And my objective right now is to, number 1, get as much nades and bullets on the objective as I can, and number 2, to revive, because we don't have a lot of tickets left. I'm able to get a double kill with the grenade, another guy with my Scarl, then I get knifed, and I'm feeling really crazy about this. I got to spawn in. We're down to less than 5 tickets, and these guys were just swarming the objective. It was crazy, and look at all those dead bodies on B from our team. Go for a revive there. Maybe not a best choice, but I'm just firing crazy into the smoke, trying to get a kill. That guy was disarming. Instead, I got a MCOM defend, and finally we're able to get it to blow up. And oh my gosh, we were down to less than 5 tickets. Guys were yelling out GG. You know, we had gotten pushed back to the point where we were almost getting spawn camped, and we were able to come out with a victory. So that was a pretty fun game. I really had a lot of enjoyment out of it. It was really great. But hope you guys have enjoyed. Let me know if you guys enjoy these more competitive type matches, and what you think about skill ceilings. And I'll see you later.